The KZN Future 50 with Pavlo Fatidis. Inspiring KZN's business future.
It's time for KZN Future 50. And for that, we'll need one Pavlo Fatidis from Auric. Good morning, Pavlo.
Good morning, Darren.
Right. Which business are we featuring today and why did we pick them?
So we're going to be looking at Siyabonga Gule's business called Beapo. It offers a really interesting service. It sounds trivial. It sounds like there's no need for it until I share with you later on why it is so important. And what his business does is he does strategic sourcing, and that is a vital component of any business that has a very big, heavy, monthly supply chain where you're looking for best cost, you're looking for reliability, you're looking for certainty. And if you don't get those elements right, you face extensive risk. He solves that problem for some of the biggest companies in South Africa.
What makes Beapo special enough to be on KZN Future 50?
Well, there are a couple of things. We have some unique South African reasons why it matters. And if you think about it, procurement and supply chain, in other words, services that you buy and products that you buy, can either sink your business or allow it to grow very successfully. And it's become harder and harder. In South Africa, if you look at issues like leadership and the politics behind leadership, it makes procurement a really challenging environment. You have different intentions, you have different reasonings, you have different fiefdoms targeting the big coffers that really support procurement. We have corruption. It's still there through government services and in very large, big corporate environments. At smaller levels, it exists. The skills around procurement are really hard to define. If you think about when you buy something, you need to have deep knowledge of the product you buy. You need to have knowledge of the alternatives. You need to have knowledge about how, in its failure to work or not work, or arrive or not arrive, it disrupts the entire business. And mostly what we find right across the board is in these very large organizations with multiple locations across the country, procurement becomes a real challenge. Not getting it right can cost you the business. Getting it right can see you absolutely thrive.
All right. Exciting. Where can Beapo be in like 5 years?
Well, Beapo could be everywhere, but there's a big challenge that Siyabonga has to overcome. And it's such an interesting conundrum because if you think about it, the person that he would offer his service to is the procurement manager in an organization. But in saying to the procurement manager, I can help you buy better, the procurement manager then has to speak to the finance manager, the commercial manager, the CEO, and say, I want to work with Siyabonga. They in turn then say, but Darren, you are the procurement manager. Surely you should be able to get this job done right. And it creates a really interesting conundrum. So here's the thing. When Siyabonga brings his service into the market, it's so important that he has a separate message for the finance manager, a separate one for the commercial manager, a separate one for the CEO, a separate one for the board. And what's important is this, is that procurement managers who are facing incredibly complex, highly charged, difficult environments around procurement can bring him in order to have a third party support their position on what changes the organization needs to make across procurement in order to improve it right across the board. He, in fact, becomes a real ally to those procurement managers that are wanting to lift their game and lift the performance of the organization as a whole.
Pavlo Fatidis from Auric joining us right now. This was KZN Future 50. Thank you, Pavlo.
Thank you. See you next week.
If you want to get involved in KZN Future 50, go to our website, ecr.co.za, and there you can find all the information on all the companies that have been featured.